Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari 8-bit games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today is one of the former. Today we're looking at Zybex, which was a 1988 release by Zeppelin Games, and the game that well and truly put Zeppelin Games on the radar of Atari enthusiasts. This was particularly noteworthy for being released as a budget release, but having production values that put most of its peers, and indeed a lot of full price releases, to shame. So it had lovely graphics, it had lots of levels, lots of content, and it had an excellent soundtrack by Adam Gilmour, which is probably the most fondly remembered part of it today. It's certainly a really good tune, so we'll have to have a little listen to that before we actually start playing. Anyway, let's go play Zybex.
Okay, here we are with Zybex from Zeppelin Games. Programming by Brian Jobling, graphics and design by Michael Owens, and music and sound effects by Adam Gilmour, which is probably one of the most distinctive parts of this game. So, this is a shoot 'em up in, I guess you'd call it the Gradius mold, in some respects. It's 1 or 2 players, and, well, I guess the easiest way is just to show you how it goes. Let's begin. Game on! Level Arcturus. So, this is a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up. And the unusual thing about it, for the era, was the fact that, that it had auto fire. So, I'm not pressing the fire button at all here. Each weapon just fires automatically, depending on its power level. And you press the fire button to switch between the different weapons you've got. So this sort of basic cannon here, the higher the power level on this, the more rapidly it fires, and so the more quickly it does damage to things. The second one here is a railgun that's very powerful, but it shoots very slowly. And then this one here is a kind of wave beam that, as you can see, it's very, very wide shot, but again, not especially powerful. And if you lose a life, you also lose a power level from whichever weapon you're currently using. And in all cases except the basic shot, if you drop down to level 0 for a weapon, then you lose that weapon. Oops. So you see now my basic gun has dropped down to level 1. It won't drop below that because you've always got access to that. This one here is a 8-way shot that does not start as 8 ways by any stretch of the imagination. Oh dear. This is not going super well. In case you hadn't noticed, this is a pretty difficult game. It's a very authentic arcade shooter in that regard. But, as with all good arcade shooters, it's all about learning the levels, learning the attack patterns, understanding what the best weapon for different situations is. And making your way to the end. Oh dear. Oh, still got a life. Okay, here we are. So you see my spread shot now is upgraded to level 4, so it's got some bullets firing out the side as well now. It's pretty good. We finished the level. No lives left, but we finished the level nonetheless. So no bosses or anything in this. It's just purely the challenge of making your way through the level. And yeah, you get a bonus at the end of each stage for all those B-shaped tokens you get. Then once you finish that first level, you can actually choose any of the first 12 levels to go to next. And then for the last 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you need tokens to collect from the previous levels. So once you pass that first level, you can tackle most of the game in any order you want. So if you have a favourite level, you can go straight for that one. Or you can just choose to work... Oh dear, dead. Yeah, scenery kills you in this as well. Music in this game is so good. So good. Right, let's have another go. Try and do a bit better this time. Oh no! I'm not standing for that. Can we start again? Yes, we can. Start again. Yeah, this game for me is sort of one of the sort of iconic looking Atari 8-bit games, if you like. So this aesthetic where sort of the screen display was multiple shades of a single colour. That was sort of very distinctive Atari 8-bit for me. If you look at the Commodore 64 version of this game, it's a lot more colourful. But I think this looks fine. It gives each level a nice sort of... I mean, we talked previously about how just games changing colours can provide a sense of progression and satisfaction sometimes, and this game is very much a good example of that. So you start at this green level, and in subsequent levels you go through red and blue and all various other shades. And it makes each level stand out. Oh yeah, doing much better this time. Yeah, you got to learn to sort of really anticipate where those shots are coming from. And be careful that you're not blocking the view of things with your own shots as well, because that's very easy to do. And yeah, and the sort of tradition of games like Gradius and such like, your aim is really to try and hold on to as many power-ups as you possibly can for as long as possible. Just so that you've always got suitable weaponry to deal with any situation you might come across. Oh no! It's okay, we've only lost a level of orbit, I think the basic blaster is called. Yeah, it says so down at the bottom of the screen, doesn't it? Nice! Much better than the first time. Alright. Lots of bonus token. We've got a much higher score that time as well. Alright, let's continue to Beros. Yeah, see, you can see how powerful that railgun shot is when it's powered up a decent amount. Oh, that was unfortunate. Yeah, so obviously the pulse is the best one for dealing with these long enemies like this. Oh dear. It's all going wrong now. And then the rapid fire of the orbit is useful in a lot of different situations. Ooh, extra life. 2 extra lives. Certainly not going to say no to those. I remember when I played this as a kid, I don't think I could finish the first level. That's because it is a tricky game. And so if you do find yourself struggling with it, I don't think there's any shame in that. I give you permission to be bad at Zybex. Because heaven knows I am. But yeah, this is a really good shooter, just because it's got lots of interesting attack patterns, it's got varied enemies, the different weapons add a lot of variety and enjoyment to the game. And it's just a really solid implementation of the formula. And the fact that it was a budget price release, as all of Zeppelin Games stuff was, up until they established their Cognito premium label. Oops. Yeah, all the more remarkable that a game of this quality would be a budget release, and that was one thing that was often commented on back when this first came out. As people were saying, "Oh, I can't believe this is a budget game." It was like £1.99, I think, possibly £2.99. I can't remember. Certainly very cheap, pocket money. We're talking. Oh, it's getting tricky. Is that a boss? Is that an actual boss? I've literally never seen that before. Unbelievable. I'm not going to kill it, because it's flinging bullets around ridiculously, but no, that is an actual boss. Ah, there we go. Whew. Let's have one more try, because that is actually, I'm pretty sure, the best I've ever done in this game. So, let's have another go. Oh, here's a nice little thing. By pressing the fire button here, you can change the colour of your little person. That's nice. Let's be green. So we blend in nicely with the first level. Excuse me, hiccups. Alright. Oh, missed. That's unfortunate. I could have had a fully powered up orbit by now. Oh no, I had to go and mess it up, didn't I? Oh well. These things happen. Bring out the pulse. Yeah, the one thing this game could do with is just a bit of visual feedback when you're hitting stuff. As it stands, it can just sometimes be a little tricky to determine whether or not you're actually doing damage to something. I mean, it's not a game breaker by any means. I don't think there's any actually invincible enemies in this, but it'd just be nice to have like a little colour flash or something like that. Particularly on that boss we were fighting. Oh no! Oh. This is not as good as our first attempt, by any means. Ouch. Yeah, failing miserably. But it's okay. It's okay, it's all fine. I always thought the railgun looked like you're firing girders at people. Which I found oddly pleasing for some reason. Oh no! Flew right into that bloody bullet. Oh dear. It's one of those games where you just have the touch for just a magical moment at a time, and then you lose it the next time you try and play. So disappointing. But it feels great when you do have the touch. Right, let's try a different level. Let's try Centaurus. Alright, so this one is in black and white. There's some pretty nightmare swarms of enemies right from the get-go, from the look of things. Oh no! That's alright, my orbit's already at minimum level, so... What the hell is that? Can we destroy this? Oh, we can. But it takes multiple shots to destroy the parts of that. Oh, right into the scenery. Yeah, like Gradius, this is kind of one of those games where if you end up losing your power-ups when you're even a little way into the game, you're absolutely screwed. So, yeah, a bit of balancing issues there, but I mean, such was the case with most shoot-em-ups at the time, really. But yeah, Zybex is definitely one of the best shoot-em-ups on the Atari 8-bit, and I remember this being widely praised when it was originally released. Still great today. Anyway, let's leave that there for now. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. New episodes of Atari A to Z are on Tuesdays and Atari ST A to Z on Thursdays. Check out atariatoz.wordpress.com for a full archive. Do please also check out my other projects moegamer.net, where I explore Japanese and Japanese-inspired games from yesterday and today, and videopackgames.wordpress.com, which aims to catalogue the small but well-formed library of the Philips G7000 Videopack computer, also known as the Magnavox Odyssey 2. You can also support my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.